We're at WeatherTech Raceway, the legendary Laguna Seca, for the final rounds of Ferrari Challenge North America. My name's Andrew Coley. I've just been in that wonderful building behind me, Casa Ferrari. Tony Valander's been in there as well. Tony, we've had a great season, but that's been a bit of a problem, hasn't it?
Yeah, because the Ferrari has a one big issue. The food is just too good. Too good. It's not good for our diet.
It's not.
I like Italian, so it's
yeah, it is. We're focusing now back on the racing, aren't we? Everyone's done with eating for today, and there'll be some nervous heads around because they need a good result before heading across to Italy for the finale mondiale.
Yeah, I think we mentioned already for the first events of the season. Championships, it's not just one-hit wonder. You need to perform throughout the season. We have one day of racing here in North America, and then we have the finals in Italy.
What's the atmosphere like there when you bring together the best of the best from all the Ferrari challenges around the globe?
The thing with the finals is just every year is bigger and bigger. Ferrari comes with new ideas, racing related, but also for the street cars. And it's just basically the whole week of racing.
Okay, going to be fantastic. But we've got some championship points to earn here, first of all, at Laguna Seca. Let's get day 2 underway. Good afternoon from Laguna Seca, WeatherTech Raceway for Ferrari Challenge North America. It is the final race on the final day of this brilliant series in the US of A before, of course, they head across to Italy for the finale mondiale, which myself and Tony were just talking about outside Casa Ferrari. We've had a great weekend, we've had a great season. We're looking to cap it off with some brilliant racing today. It was super tight during qualifying this morning. We had some fun racing yesterday as well. There was some overtaking out there. I spoke to Lewis Flory at lunchtime. He passed loads of people because he span a couple of times. Wasn't very happy with his day. He's happier today. There's a few people looking to get some redemption for yesterday. Jan Bernier right up on pole in this encounter that's coming up for Coppa Shell. It is going to be a lot of fun, so stay with us. 31 degrees Celsius track temperature, air 22, so we're up by a few degrees from yesterday. That might well have a bit of an effect in terms of tyre wear, and we definitely saw some people yesterday with some rather well-used Pirellis by the end of the race. So if we don't get any full course yellows, tyre management could come into it. This is the calendar, of course. We started at Sonoma Raceway just down the road. Daytona International Speedway and Miami Autodrome also just down the road from each other, but on the other side of the USA, of course, on the East Coast, Indianapolis and Watkins Glen in the meantime. And now we're back on the West Coast to round things out here at Laguna Seca before October 21st to 26th in Mugello, the finale mondiale. It will be a lot of fun. We're going to crown some champions. Some of them I think are kind of obvious, and some of them I think are going to be, there's a lot to play out just yet. Look at that view. Oh, wonderful, beautiful Monterey in the background, just a few miles down the road. We've been having a good time there. We being me, Andrew Coley, and Tony Valander, who sat alongside me. Tony, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. We had a nice lunch at the Casa Ferrari, ready for the second round of the races this weekend. Drivers, by now, they've learned the difficulty of overtaking at this track. So, importance, the race start. Every chance you got on that opening lap, drivers will go and take that chance. If you settle with the group, even you are 1/10 faster, very challenging to overtake.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at the track, Tony, and you can talk us through it. There are a couple of opportunities, as you say. Turn 1 yesterday, we did see some good action with people going for moves right here.
Yeah, turn 1. Then it goes to turn 2, very difficult under braking. Car is leaning towards the right, so you need to balance with the brake pressure. And as soon as the car settles straight, then full pressure and double apex corner, turn 2.
Yeah, so turn 1 is one opportunity, definitely. Say 2 is gets a bit tighter through there. Then I think we saw Kaminsky yesterday up at 7 and 8 on the run into the corkscrew. Not a lot other than that, because it's dusty offline, isn't it?
Yeah, pressure. Put the other driver under pressure, and then if there is a minimum of mistake coming out of the previous corner, then the next one you need to be ready for it. Johnny Kaminsky's overtake to the legendary place corkscrew was the highlight of yesterday. Few drivers also dropping the wheel off the exit curb, so dirt and dust there, so need to be really careful.
Yeah, they do indeed. The umbrellas are out today, not of course because of rain, but to give the drivers a little bit of shade. Mike Chen in his car, getting ready to go. Just making a few adjustments on the steering wheel there. Wonderful shots from the drone. You can see the crest there just after the bridge on the front straightaway. There's the big crest, and then turn one really appears quickly to you. The flat out left kink, and then that's the double apex corner that Tony was talking about. Bit of a patchwork down there of pavement, meaning that you can get the front end of the car grabbing. Casa Ferrari is the white peaked building in the background. And I know we'll have a bunch of guests down there with a fantastic view of the action in turn 3. Nina Jade Paul is down on the grid. Let's get down there and find out what the atmosphere's like.
Right, this is it. The atmosphere is tense. The final races here in North America before the season moves to Mugello for the finale Mondiali next month, and you can feel it in the atmosphere. This is time for our drivers to leave nothing on the table. And interestingly enough, I was having a word with a few of them over the course of the day, and similarly, they all have the same thing to say. They're going for it, which means we are in for a really, really good race today. One of the people I'm sure are going for it are Mr. Mitchell Green. How are you doing, Mitchell? You doing well?
Rock and roll, baby.
He said rock and roll. Do you have a plan for turn 1?
I got a plan. I'll tell you what it is after the race.
He said he'll tell me the plan after the race, and I'm sure his plan involves Mr. Gary Orr and Jan Bernier in first and second place, so watch this space.
Thanks, Nina Jade. I love that. I've got a plan. I'll tell you after the race. Great stuff. Now, I know that Lewis Flory has a plan as well, because I spoke to him. He had a rough day yesterday, and he's got a plan for turn 1 as well, which I'm sure we'll see pan out during the course of this next one. He's 4th on the grid for Shell-Am, a much better result than he had the previous day when he got caught in traffic. He, earlier on this week, took us for a guided lap around Laguna Seca. So let's take a look on board with Lewis Flory.
Hey guys, Lewis Flory here, driver of car number 183, racing with Ferrari Houston and Risi Competizione, and today I'm going to take you for a lap on the world-famous WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca.
So here we are on the front straight, coming into the bridge, which is actually turn 1, oddly enough. Doesn't really feel like much of one. Coming up to turn 2, you got to get wide right, down to 3rd gear. This hairpin is really important to catch both these apexes here, and then power out as soon as possible to get the power down. Coming up to turn 3, braking a little bit before the 2, same thing, get down into that apex, and then swing it out wide and hammer down into 4. 4th is a 4th gear, faster corner, bring it inside, fly it out, get on down to 5 as fast as you possibly can. Coming up to 5, the bridge is a great marker for your braking point. You want to get underneath it, braking in, staying in the 4th gear, coming out, try to use all the track out the side here. It's a little off camber there, it can feel a little weird. Same thing, you want to get past this bridge, braking into 6th, 4th gear, down to the apex, and use all that track outside. Coming up to the hill and setting up for a great angle, hopefully going into the famous corkscrew. Get wide, stay as wide as you can. 3rd gear, there's a total blind apex coming down here, and then power out, getting ready for 9. You're kind of in the middle of the road here, little brush of the brakes, bring it into that apex, and power all the way out, bring it back in for turn 10, staying in 4th gear, find that apex, and send it out. Coming up to 11, it's a really slow corner, you're gonna hit the brakes pretty hard around the 2.5 mark, down to 3rd gear, find your exit, and send it on down the straight. And that was a lap at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca.
The drivers are raring to go, as am I. So without further ado, drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
Not a lot we can say that sounds better than that, is there, Tony? Really, it's that moment where you start to get the old tingles on the go. We're getting set to get started here.
Yeah, first of all, I love the images on the onboard lap.
Yes, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
It gives you the idea of the roller coaster effect. You have some points on the track where you just point, the nose of the car is pointing up in the air and you're seeing the sky. Then suddenly you go downhill from corkscrew. The track really doesn't forgive. Like on that onboard lap, F1 style tracks, everything is tarmac nowadays. Here, if you drop a wheel, it costs
loose.
you.
Yeah.
It costs you time or even sends you spinning off the track.
We saw that yesterday, didn't we? In fact, Lewis had a spin yesterday. He said he got too keen on the exit of turn 1 when he made that pass up the inside. He said, I was desperate to make a gap before turn 2, up to turn 3. And he said, too much lock, too much throttle, and round he went. So he's aware. He wants to make a few passes on the run to the first corner. I think the interesting one is Mitchell Green, isn't it? P3 behind Jan Bernier and Gary Ott. Gary's got good race pace, but Mitchell will have his eyes on only one person, and that's Bernier. So he needs to not have Ott in between him and Bernier.
Yeah, I would highlight 2 moments of the race weekend where drivers get the most adrenaline, when they're the most nervous. The other one is qualifying.
Yeah.
Up to you to perform, find a good space, and show to the team what you got. The second is the race start itself. You can go through videos, you can check onboards, but every race start is different. You never know what's going to happen, so you need to be really careful and really ready for everything. First turn 2, and even the first half of the lap, side by sides. Sometimes the track here feels a bit narrow as well, so you don't have a lot of space. And then Mitchell Green, he has been a little bit wild during the season when Jan Bernier has been the Mr. Consistency, and yesterday the tables turned. It was Bernier that went off, and Mitchell Green scored the maximum points.
6 points in between them after this morning's qualifying. This is going to be fantastic.
And even in qualifying, they were next to each other.
Oh, it was amazing. So stay with us. It's going to be a brilliant race. Here we go then, Coppa Shell, race 2 from Laguna Seca. On the front row, Jan Bernier with the pole, Gary Ott alongside him. The next row, of course, is where you need to keep your eyes out for Mitchell Green, who's desperate to get on front of Gary Ott and be in the fight with Bernier. Stephen Chen made some good attempts at passing yesterday. Chuck Whittle, he was the man that Stephen was trying to pass. Mike Chen was also in that train yesterday, so we know they're quick. Brian Waltersdorf and William Naranjo, row 4. On to row 5 is Brad Evans and Osvaldo Gallo. Row 6, Roy Carroll and Joel Rose. Rose, I think, had that off yesterday, if I remember correctly. Mike Luley and Jarrett Bilacek on row 7. Row 8, Javier Rodriguez Borgio and Andrew Parker. Row 9, Tom Petromolo, who is the pole man. Fabian Spearman alongside Owens and Flory. Then you've got Hribb and Corley. And then down to row 12 here. Paul Lynn, Ed Vartugian, row 13. 14, Hummel and Lau. Herfield and Peruska, and let's go because we're going racing. Oh, it's a very where's Ott gone? Ott's gone before the line, so Gary Ott's made a mistake there. That's going to be a penalty for sure because it's Jan Bernier's job to get them off the line. So Gary Ott's gone early, unless he's done some sort of a deal to be out of the way of the other drivers, which I'm sure he wouldn't have done. So this is the rest of the Anfield coming through for their start up to turn 1. So a big gap. Oh, so Mitchell Green's got in front of Jan Bernier, has he? Where's Bernier? Where's Bernier?
Oh.
What's happened to Jan Bernier?
Very odd start.
Oh, no, Jan Bernier, the mirror's off the car. So Jan Bernier's had contact again. The car is going slowly again. This is another disastrous start for Bernier.
He's gone off at turn 2 at the start.
What on earth has happened there? So Mitchell Green is in P2 after Gary Ott jumped the start, and Bernier's had an incident too. I have no idea what's happened there.
Yeah, it looked like Gary Ott accelerated miles before the other group, and Jan Bernier just didn't accelerate. We need to see when the green flag was waved, because then you can go, and the front row cars can really accelerate. And obviously a disaster for Jan Bernier. He was just rejoining the track. Damage all around the race car. I don't see damage on
Mitchell Green.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. So was it somebody from further back in the pack?
Yeah, let's see if we get a replay.
Oh, what a disaster. That's such a shocker, isn't it? It really is.
And
so
I think we even had a full course yellow for a moment, and now it's gone.
There's damage on the back of the car too, Tony. Look at the back of the car as well. Front left corner, look at the back. I think someone's hit him from the rear.
Yeah.
So Bernier's been hit from the rear. Can't obviously not Mitchell Green because his car's in perfect condition. Bernier is now getting swallowed up by the Anfield. He's had a nightmare weekend. I'm gutted for him.
Yeah,
it was a brilliant performance in quality. I'm gutted for him, Tony. I really am. Look at this.
This is the drama when you sometimes have in the championship. Is everything is going smooth until a sequence of things that doesn't go your way. And now this is the second race in a row that Jan Bernier is having big difficulties.
Oh, what a shame. So, okay, the next question mark is what happens to Gary Ott, who went... I'm correct, Honor, that Bernier leads the start and Ott can't
But green
react
flag, go.
to it.
Flag means go.
Yeah, so, okay, let's take a look. Take a look here. We can take a look back at the start and see what happened, because this is big news. It's huge news. Up at the top of the corkscrew, Gary Ott leads. Okay, so Ott goes early. Mitchell Green's tucked in behind. Chuck Whittle's in the chrome car behind him. So this is the run to the first corner, look. Bernier's clearly... Oh, no.
It was the green car.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's Chen, isn't it?
Yeah, he sent Bernier straight. He didn't even make turn 2.
No way. Yeah, it is. Look at the damage on the front right corner. What a shocker.
Whoa, that was a big one.
I can't tell you. Look. So is he in the loose on the out? Yes,
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
No way. So he's been turned around to the outside.
Yeah, before turn 2.
He's lucky not to have been collected. Oh, gutted. I'm so sorry for Jan Bernier. I really am. That is a shocking weekend to a lovely man who drove so fantastically in qualifying this morning to claim back a point in the championship fight. Mitchell Green now's got a job to do. He's in a tricky situation with Gary Ott being up front. Gary's jumped the start, so we're pretty confident Gary's going to get a penalty for that, aren't we, Tony? Sure.
Yeah, still those images didn't give us the right answer, because we should have a view when the green flag was waved.
Okay, so Gary might have reacted and the others haven't.
Yes, so that might be an option, but we need to see and wait. For sure the stewards are going through the images, what happened, and if there is a penalty to be given, most likely is a drive-through penalty. If not, normally in races in US, green flag means go. So when you have a front row car, you get a green flag. He doesn't need to wait. If, for example, Jan Bernier had an issue and couldn't accelerate, I think then Gary has the right to go.
But if he doesn't have an issue, what's the score then? Because in theory,
normally green means go.
I thought it was on the pole guy to decide when they go, because they back the pack up, don't they?
I think that's more with the safety car. Normally, I think at the start, the green, you cannot overtake another driver, but you need to be behind, and then with the green flag, you accelerate.
Got a penalty. Yes. He's got a penalty. The 3 red lines have appeared. That means normally, isn't it 5 seconds a line, or is it 3 lines for a penalty? I can't remember, but 3 is a definite penalty. Okay, so Gary Ott leads, but he's been given a penalty. Mitchell Green should be told that by his team. All he has to do now is stay out there and get himself a haul of points. There's no point in trying to pass Ott, because Ott's not going to take this. I'm gutted for Gary as well for that, but the man I'm most gutted for is Jan Bernier. And Nina Jade has gone and found him, a lovely man who set an incredible time in qualifying, and unfortunately it's all gone wrong before turn 2. Nina Jade.
Jan, we're absolutely gutted for you. Tell us what happened.
Well, I jumped the start because the flag wasn't out. So I'm like, okay, we'll just tuck in. And guy behind me just, I don't know, he didn't hit his brakes at all because he hit me hard from behind. Just shoved me into the wall, broke the back of my car. That's racing, I guess, but it was a little unacceptable.
So that's it. Your Sunday done now.
I think I'm done. There's no way that gets fixed.
Well, chin up for Mugello.
We'll see.
Bless him. What a lovely man, still smiling after that. I think there's plenty of drivers who'd be really, really annoyed, and on this occasion I could understand that, but he's such a nice bloke. That's racing.
Yeah, I mean, he was leading the pack. I mean, Gary Ott was gone.
Yes.
Jan Bernier was in P2, and he was just breaking into turn 2, and then he had a big hit, like he said, and it sent him straight off the track. He didn't even make it until turn 2, and he went straight to the gravel.
Wow. There we go. Okay, so I'm a bit lost for words. I really am. It's I say your leader Jan Bernier came here with something like a 12-point lead in the standings, and had been on the podium every single time. One bad race, you'd go, okay, fair play, but unfortunately he's had 2, so they won't be able to get the car back out in this one, and that's going to be advantage Mitchell Green, as we say, who at the moment is in P2 behind Gary Ott. The gap is 2.7. That is Stephen Chen and Mike Chen, in which case it's Stephen Chen, I think, in the green car. Unfortunately, was probably involved in the incident. There's fairly heavy damage on the front corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
front right, he has a big damage.
He does indeed. So, yeah, there we go. There we go. Right, so Mike Chen trying to find a way past Stephen Chen and goes late on the brakes. Lovely move. Really, really late into the apex. Block pass over the crest at the corkscrew is pretty impressive, Tony.
Yeah, that takes a lot of courage. I mean, coming into the corkscrew is a blind corner. You don't know when the corner is going to drop down, and he really decided to go inside. Used probably one gear more to slow down the car, but what a beautiful move, and he was able to stay on track and overtake another guy.
Yeah, he was. Nicely done. Now, of course, we are aware that, you know, Stephen Chen has probably got some damage on the car. You're on board with Marlowe. He's the leader of the AM category and the pole sitter from this morning. Of course, he's done well. Of course, with all that was going on, yeah, he's out front of the AM category and looking in his screen in the middle there, Tony. There's no one that close. How is it from find the gaps? I need to scroll down on the timing screen. We've got so many entries in this one.
Yeah, Tom's performance in qualifying was impressive. He was, I mean, we were a bit surprised, but also he was surprised after qualifying. He said he was feeling confident before quali 2, but to be on pole was something that he wasn't expecting. Yes.
Okay, so we're just looking now. Petromolo 1.8 over Gabe Hrib, with Michael Owens in P3, Lewis Flory in P4. So those guys have remained kind of in grid formation quite, but close enough to it. There is Owens with the green stripes on the front of the purple hood. That's Steve Czech, who's in his T car. We saw that this morning in qualifying. Lewis Flory with the fastest lap at the moment in the Coppa Shell AM category. Here he is coming through in the 183. He was all smiles at lunchtime. So Lewis has said, "How's it going?" "Yeah, good." I said, "I need to ask you about yesterday." And he just sort of laughed. He was like, it was horrible. He'd had a terrible day. He said that the incident between him and Kozira, he was like, he didn't feel that was necessary. Here's Gary still. He didn't necessarily feel it was his fault, but say he did have his own spin in the corner, and then he said he came up from P19 all the way up to P9, and then he said he cooked the tyres and he went off again. So Gary Ott leads, but as you can see, he's got a penalty. Nina Jade Paul has found out a bit more about that for us. Nina Jade.
Gary Ott will have a 15-second penalty to be added on to the end of his time at the end of his race. And additionally, they are looking at a penalty for the driver that hit Jan Vernier. They are just currently analysing video footage, and I'll get back to you on that one as well.
Thank you, Nina Jade. Fair enough. You know, sometimes the stewards have got to move fast, especially as the championship leader. Okay, now someone else has got to move fast. Gary Ott's in an interesting situation here, Tony, because we know what the penalty is. The 3 red lines, as I thought, is the same as Perina got when he crossed the white line in round 1 of Sonoma starter this year. It's 5 seconds a line. 15 seconds, he's extending his gap. It's 3.9 at the minute. If I was Gary Ott, I'd be going on a qualifying lap every single time. He's got to try and extend it, hasn't he?
Yeah, true story. I mean, in this occasion, the damage is done. Now to redo your race for yourself and your team, just try as hard as you can. Just maximum lap time every lap, consistent, and try to make the biggest gaps possible, and then see where you at the checkered flag.
Yeah, I mean, he could, in theory, he could end up, couldn't he, still on the podium? But it's my maths is not good enough to add up the various different gaps in between all the cars to find out where 15 seconds puts him. Flory putting the pressure on Hrib for P2 in the AM category. So Owens has gone down a couple of places, I think, because Owens was in the midst of this. Flory really close, so it's a good opportunity at turn 1. He made a pass at turn 1 yesterday, Lewis Flory, but then he dropped it on the throttle on the exit. So Hrib coming through, and Lewis Flory drops it on the exit here. He's got on the gas too soon. Owens comes through. That's the exact same place that we saw yesterday. Sperman went round, and in fact, Flory gets away with it. He doesn't drop as much time as he might have done. Got to be careful on the rejoin here. He does get the car back on. He was so eager to get on the throttle, Tony, and be there, and unfortunately he was too eager again there.
Yeah, another mistake. So yesterday on the opening laps, he was quite excited. He was making a lot of moves and was really wild where placing his race car. And again, a little bit of, he lost the concentration coming out of the last turn. Probably low setting again on TC. Didn't catch the rear, jumping a little bit out. And when you lose so many places, difficult to come back.
Yeah, well, it's hard enough to pass, isn't he? He was lining up one pass. This is a look at it. Comes down into 11. He's in a really lovely position here, look, and just picks up the throttle. It's a tiny bit too early with a tiny bit too much lock.
Yeah, and also very close to the other car in front of him. So the concentration and the thought process on driver's side is like you said, just early on throttle and probably trying to seek for overtaking opportunity going down to turn 2. And here we have another view, another angle of the mistake coming out of last turn.
He got on the brake early enough, luckily, to keep it out the wall. And if you look at the wall on the inside, it's not very straight, is it? So you can see plenty of people have got that wrong on the exit of 11. Here is Petramalo, who is leading. Petramalo is like, this is a brilliant performance. He's just disappearing. On board with him now down towards. Oh no, carnage up at the top. That's Steve Check, who's off. Definitely the white car at the top of the hill. I need to get numbers off cars for this. No way. So Steve Check, where was he? He was up in P4 in AM. Around him was Paul Lynn, Henry Hummel, Spurman. I didn't see Spurman in there. So I don't know what's happened to Steve unless he dropped it and then they've picked him up as they've come over the crest. We're going to take a look at a replay of that in just a moment. Well, it's all getting a bit too exciting here, isn't it? So this is up at the top. Check's on the outside. It's a look up the inside from 148, which is Bernard Gomez. And then that's basically taken Check out. That's Stephanie Herfield coming through. And, wow, okay. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
There was not a lot of space inside. Contact at slow speed.
Here's another look. So Check's been turned around.
Yeah, the third party, 128.
Oh, it's 113. Sorry, my bad. It's not. It's, I don't know. That's somebody who hasn't raced this year, not on my stats list. Let me look through the start grids.
And Spearman has an issue. Going slow.
Yeah, so he's just had a spin. So it's Wai Lau. My apologies to Steve Check. I say very unusual to see a white car out there. I was so excited by it earlier. I was sure it was Steve, but it's not. It's Wai Lau who's involved in that incident up at the top of the hill. And then Spurman, who span here yesterday, has apparently gone around again. So it's not, we say the conditions are perfect and that the track's clean, and actually people are making mistakes left, right and centre today, Tony.
Yeah, and also an experience from yesterday. So a lot of track time with the 2 qualifyings, the race yesterday. The drivers should be a little bit more prepared, more concentrated. Instead, we are having some contacts and also some, let's say, unforced errors where drivers are spinning on their own. So a little bit surprised to see this.
Me too. And the field's spaced out more than yesterday as well, I think, at the front end. If you look at the gaps, look. So Garriott, is that interval or gap? I think it's gap, isn't it? At the minute, would still end up P6, wouldn't he? Because...
And we're halfway.
Yeah, so in theory, if he can continue to edge that gap out, the problem will be that the guys that are close behind him are close enough not to drop out.
He doesn't want to see his full course yellow.
Yeah, he does not, does he? That's a good... He's praying for all these people that are spinning in the background.
Stay on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's desperate to get that gap out there. So this is the battle between Hrib and Owens. So Owens was, say, dropped back earlier. Then Hrib was coming under pressure from Lewis Flory. Up the inside. Owens looks to make a pass but can't get quite close enough and will maybe lose time on the exit. I wonder if this is a problem for Hrib here because he was under pressure from Flory. Owens will maybe have another go again as he comes down to the end of this straight. Looks to the inside line. Owens isn't quite close enough to go super late. Steve Check is behind these two in the second white car in this race. Say Lau being the other one who we saw in the incident at the top, taken out, unfortunately, in the corkscrew. Owens still looking for a way through. I was surprised Owens wasn't further back from Hrib when he looked up the inside into 11, Tony, which is why I'm asking about Hrib having an issue. Car off on the inside, car on the outside. Owens around, drops the wheel on the dirt, somehow avoids the wall on the inside, comes back into the track and is avoided by everyone else. It is absolute carnage here in this one at Laguna Seca. Dust cloud in the background. Lewis Flory coming through that. Who's off on the inside line?
125, 115.
Right, let's see the Spurman. We've got a list of things to replay for you. So Owens coming through now. Spurman, we've got a spin from Spurman. Let's take a look back at that one. This was earlier. So where is it? Is it out of the corkscrew? It is. It's out the corkscrew. Oh, and well avoided. I think that's Kozera who's managed to avoid him.
Yeah.
So that was a good job. Wow.
That was close.
He did well as well. They've come off the brake and rolled the car back. Good awareness of where his position is when he's going backwards.
I think we haven't seen it all yet. There's still 13 minutes to go. Full course yellow.
Full course yellow. That's gutting for Gary Ott. So Kozira circulating well. Gary Ott had managed to get his gap up. I'll tell you what, nobody's going to want to see a close restart, although they will start in a line, and the car's away again. So now, potentially don't need a full course yellow. Yes, that's disappointing. You may have heard it in my voice. We all want to see good racing out there. It is in the 115 Helen Chu, unfortunately, who had the spin. She's managed to get the car going. That's good because it means we won't have a big delay here. Hopefully it will be a very short full course yellow, in and out and done. Right, Tony, we might have time, now we're behind the safety car, to look back at some of these incidents which seem to have been non-stop since the start of this race. There is the safety car picking up Gary Ott, the leader, who jumped the start.
Yeah, Gary Ott at the start, he accelerated way earlier than all the other drivers, got 15-second penalty, had a great pace until now, was pulling away from the others, and like we mentioned, trying to make the most gap to still have a good result from this race. But obviously this full course yellow safety car, this will be a big hit for his dreams to have a good race.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, certainly. Fastest lap for Ott as well, so he really was chasing it. We're going to take a look at the replay of Owens. So this is Owens. What does he do?
Yeah, turn 4.
Yeah.
Outside, just drops the wheel, the left rear, drops, boom, stays.
Helen Chu's already off on the inside.
Yeah, and this curb takes you a little bit off the racing line. He was probably asking the car to come back, and just no grip there, and you can see he lost the rear.
Wow.
Luckily nobody collected him, and hit him when he was still spinning, and also when rejoining there was no other car. So
okay, this is going to be interesting then. So I say I do feel a bit for Gary Ott, only because if you're going to do a legendary jump start and then an amazing, get the gap out, fastest lap of the race, I really wanted to see if Ott might be able to remain on the podium with a 15-second penalty, which would have been a great story. But unfortunately, it's a full course yellow, and that just gives us a chance to get our ducks in a row. Now it's interesting to see, I suppose, what happens. Mitchell Green could have a look at Ott if he wanted to. I can't see the point. I don't see any point in Green taking any risks when he knows that his main championship rival is in the pit lane.
This is true, but also he needs to keep going. We saw what happened to
Bernier being
at the
collected
start,
from behind.
at the start to Jan Bernier. So Mitchell Green still needs to go, have his solid restart now after the safety car, and then back to the normal business, normal rhythm. Otherwise, if you start playing too much safety, this might cost you even making a driver error or someone else then trying to overtake you, and then we have a possible accident in our hands.
He was safer, wasn't he? Let's be honest. Gary Ott was perfectly happy trying to edge the lead out. Mitchell was perfectly happy in no man's land in between, completely safe, going to take a big haul of championship points, and now they've got to go with the wrist down to turn 1. So the safety car's going for another lap, so that's going to be another circulation at low speed for everyone to have a think about what to do. So this is where coaches are on radios, and who's behind? Chuck Whittle. Chuck, I think, is a safe pair of hands behind Mitchell. And you've got Mike Chen, Stephen Chen, Brian Waltersdorf. That's the order in Coppa Shell. Shell Am led by Tom Petromolo, then Gabe Hribb in P2 and Steve Check in P3, who I had thought earlier was involved in that incident, but he wasn't. It was Wai Lau in the other white car.
And now behind safety car, how to prepare the tires and the car itself to the restart. Mainly stay on the racing line. Don't go off the line, collect dirt, dust, pieces of rubber. Brakes are almost ready. I mean, now the temperatures and pressures from the actual race, they're dropping down a bit. But the ambient and track temperature is high enough to have a good grip already. So weaving again left to right, but not really sure how much this can help you for the actual restart. Main thing is stay on the racing line and have a focus on the restart, how to do it. Gary Ott, the thought process is let the safety car go and do your own rhythm the last turn, and then you can have a good acceleration, and the nature of the corner already gives you the advantage.
Yeah, that's the way to spread the field out, isn't it? So he needs to let the safety car go down the hill, doesn't he? Back the all up from but as you say, now definitely it's on the lead car to get everybody going. So
and then it varies a little bit between different championships. Sometimes the race director wants to give you an acceleration zone, wants to give you roughly an idea. Now he accelerated a bit. This is not what we want to see, is accelerate, brake. You either go or you don't. So let's see. Garriott. Yeah,
he's gone. So Garriott's gone. And that spread the field out quite nicely, and through the left-hander. It's all about turn one. That's the first big braking zone. Green flag being waved under the bridge on the run to the first corner. Garriott, Mitchell Green, Chuck Whittle over the top of the crest there. There's Mike and Steve Chen on the run to turn two. Hopefully all clean this time round on the second attempt at the start. Looks like Mike Chen might have gone a little bit deep in the background. We just saw the nose of his car, and indeed Steve Chen might be alongside him, or side by side. So Mike Chen went a bit deep. Steve Chen had that contact earlier in the race, managed to get alongside, but doesn't seem to be able to find a way through. Oh, and a look up the inside and contact. Stephen Chen goes round this time. So Chen's gone round, and that's going to be deep in the gravel trap, and that might well be the end of this encounter, I think. Oh, no, maybe not. It's not too deep there, is it? Come on, get it away. Let's go.
Yeah, turn 4 is very difficult because the natural racing line takes you to close the line early apex, and then have a wide exit. And in this occasion, driver who actually touched Bernier at the start gets collected from the rear right and going off the track.
I think that's, well, I've lost my confidence now. I think it's Steve Check. It is. That one is, I'm being told by our producer Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly. That one is, yeah. Who would have thought we'd have two white 296 challenge cars on the same day, but there you go. Okay, so Lewis Flory with the fastest lap in
and
Coppa
we have
Shell
action all around the track now.
Yes, everything kicking off everywhere. You're on board with Tom Petromolo, who is the leader of that category, and he's on the back of Borgio and Pilacek, who are towards the end between them. Yeah, nothing, 1/10 of a second back. This is hard, isn't it, for Petromolo, because he's on the back of the Shell runners who are not having such a good day, and right in his mirrors and his screen, he's got Gabe Cribb, who's desperate to try and find a way past him. Cribb is still within striking distance, 0.4 of a second back. Oh, no, more carnage. That's Michael Owens, isn't it? Driving away. It is Michael Owens driving away, and it's Melissa Kozira in the 108 who's having to pull off to the side of the track. She's done a brilliant job there to get that car out of the way. It's well off the track, so that would stop their need for a full course yellow. But that's assuming that the other car that went off earlier in the lap has been moved out of the way. Good job by Melissa. Okay. Wow. Inside line here again. People are making all sorts of lunges. It is Tom Petromolo, who's probably been defensive in the background of Rib. So Petromolo trying to find a way through the back runners. It's Waltersdorf in the white and blue. Waltersdorf now trying to find a way past Borgio. He's up the inside of Borgio on the run to the top of the hill here. And he has got it done.
And this safety car created a nightmare for Petromolo because he, like you told, he has the Shell drivers in front of him, pressure from behind, and he cannot get up to his own rhythm. And he has to adjust the speed corner by corner, and there's more pressure from behind.
Cribb will take a chance if he gets it. Oh no! Petromolo gets cut off. Borgio's not aware of him being there. Cribb going to get alongside. Petromolo's got the inside line in the background. Oh, now Cribb looks to the inside again. Blocks off. Steve Trek trying to go the long way round in turn 11. Side by side for him and Cribb. He moves across. It is all going mad. Paul Lynn, yesterday's winner, side by side with Czech as they run down the straight towards turn 2. Over the crest, Lynn up the inside of Czech now. Czech's going to go deep on the brakes and try and hold on. Hrib looks up the inside, but can't find a way past Petromolo. Petromolo has to break this chain and try and get in front of Borgio, who's the back of the Shell runners. Wow, that one little look up the inside, and more cars off in the background as well. Gravel flying up everywhere. 3 minutes 59 left. I'm not sure I'm going to have any energy left for the Trofeo Pirelli race at this rate. This is a wild one for sure. Okay, this time Borgio on the left. The lights are flashing, and that's the right thing to do. Petromolo let him know, I want to come through. He moves out to the outside line. He does let him go this time, so now he's aware, but he might get swamped by the rest of the pack here. Inside line, Petromolo goes, Hrib goes, Steve Czech comes through as well. Good stuff, fair play to Borgio. He's clocked it, he's realised there's a big battle behind him. Paul Lynn now has to try and find a way through. Good stuff from Borgio, tricky that.
These Coppa Shell drivers are leaving nothing on the table. The last race in the in North America, last race of the season here before going to the finals.
They'll be buying a new car at this rate for the European ones, but at least they won't have far to get it delivered when it's Mugello in Italy.
A lot of action. Yeah, maybe a lot of action.
Yeah, they are. Get yourselves a new car for the finale, lads. It's I bet the parts truck is thinking, wow. So, oh no, don't have another Petromolo making another pass here. That is on Jeffrey Keel. So Petromolo goes through. Keel seems to be going pretty slowly, so I think there's an issue there. Oh wow, okay. Petromolo and Rib with 2 minutes 48 remaining. Let's. This is the overall leader, Gary Ott. Remember, though, he has a 15-second penalty, although he is still. Oh, we've got another spin. Oh, no, it's the leader. That is your leader has gone around. Petromolo has spun. That's an absolute shocker. We looked away for 1 second and it kicked off. I was just about to say, surely there can't be any more chapters in this race, but there are. He's gone. Petromolo's gone, so that means Rib leaves some Czech and Lynn. And whereabouts Lewis Flory must be back up into about P6, and he span off the track earlier. What a shame. I'm absolutely gutted for Petromolo. This was a brilliant drive by him, going from pole and looking for the win. There's your leader. Gabe Rib is your leader in the 102. Steve Czech is in P2 in a moment. There he is. Yep, Steve Czech. And actually, it's kind of released a bit of a bottleneck, hasn't it? So Czech is there. Can he do anything to get back to Rib in front? I'm not sure he can. And Gabe Rib will be over the moon about this because he is the championship leader and things were looking a bit tricky. He'd said at lunchtime, he's like, I don't want to lose any more points. Well, today, it looks like he's going to get maximum points. And I said to him, all you got to do is stay out of trouble. That seemed pretty easy over a bowl of lunch, Tony. And actually, it's not that easy, is it?
No, we've had a race that there's been action all over the place. A lot of errors, some contacts as well. And in Shell, I'm leading drivers committing errors. So it's been quite a tough one for the drivers. 30 minutes, but 30 minutes of pure action.
Wow, indeed. So yeah, Gary Ott, that was who I was going to talk about. Gary Ott out the front, look, he's still going to be on for P5 because it's 16 seconds back to Osvaldo Gallo, and he's going to have a 15-second penalty. So actually, Gary Ott won't end up too far down the order. It's a bit of a result for a massive jump start, and so I like Gary anyway. So he will be gutted not to take the win because he's desperate to do that. I know he is. And he's such a nice guy. He's always full of smiles. 40 seconds left. So we're going to have the white flag at the end of this one, which will mean one more lap. And look at the positions. Brad Evans is the only person who hasn't moved positions. End up P9. Plus 10 for Steve Czech. Plus 12 for Matthew Herfield. Plus 10 for Peruskia. Minus 18 for Stephen Chen. Had that contact at the start of the race. Unfortunately, of course, with Jan Bernier, who's not even on the page. Stephanie Herfield up 12 places. At the front, Gary Ott showing us up one, but he's going to drop down. And Roy Carroll as well with a good move. Goodness me.
Yeah, white flag
Steve
out.
Czech.
Final lap.
Up behind Rib. Yeah, that's it. Last lap. Keep it tidy. Keep it tidy. Roll off the throttle, guys. Come on now. Oh, no. Is that Flory?
I think so.
Lewis Flory with the wing mirror
183.
off the car as well. So he's obviously had contact either with another car or something out on the track. That's a shame for Lewis. Oh, man, and he was fighting his way back through the field again as well. I said to him yesterday, he said he made so many passes during the race. And I said, unfortunately, I said, because and there he is, he's on the outside, okay, so he's away. That must be contact with somebody else if the mirror's off, maybe. But, I said, well, look, it's good practice for passing, and he's done some more today. So Flory will have picked up some skills this weekend, but unfortunately not the results to go with it.
Yeah, and after the race, the restart behind the safety car, Mitchell Green was closer to...
This is Flory.
Maybe
no,
a
he's pulled
technical
off. Technical. Okay, so he's lost the mirror already and it's just gone tech. Good lad parking it off.
Second half of the race, Mitchell Green was able to stay way closer to Gary Ott, just controlling the pace.
Good job by Mitchell Green. Gary Ott then is going to cross the line in P1, but he's going to get a 15-second penalty, and that is going to mean that this man is going to pick up his second win of the weekend. He already leads the championship standing. He will not be happy, of course, about what happened with Jan Bernier. There's no question he would rather have raced it out. But all the same, Mitchell Green gets the job done. Double win at Laguna Seca, and will go to Italy with a decent championship lead for the finale Mondiali.
More action.
More action in the background, more cars off as we see Whittle and Chen cross the line for P2 and P3 as the penalty comes in for Ott. Smoke pouring off the tyres in the background. Here's Gabe Rib with Steve Czech. Steve Czech, can he make a pass for the win in the final corner? Dives up the inside. Here comes him off though. Rib shuts the door. Steve Czech had a little look. They're both sensible on the throttle on the exit. They get a bit sideways. He tries to cover him again. Steve Czech trying to cover the inside contact on the run to the line. Rib gets it, but only after a tap between them. Oi, 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 look
The
at
car
that.
was up in the air.
Yeah, launched. Contact Pirelli on Pirelli. The action never stopped. From before the green flag, when Gary Ott jumped the start, to at the checker with contact on the final straight. That was maybe a bit much, but...
This race had it all.
It did. We're done. Okay,
Wow.
everybody take a breath, especially me.
Wow. There was action. The moment we mentioned maybe we've seen it all,
No,
3 seconds
we have
later,
not.
somebody off.
Wow. Gabe Hribb, the winner of Shell, the championship leader, with smoke coming off the car after he shut the door on Steve Czech. And I don't think Czech would have got there anyway, but this is Czech looking to the inside.
Until here is fine.
Yeah, good on Steve for having a look. And then they're both nervous, aren't
He
they?
has
on
a
the
very
throttle
good
on the
exit. He has
Yeah.
a very good exit. And
goes
then they
across.
touch here, and the guys were running to the
wall
to
as
the
well.
wall.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is it from the outside. So Czech, did you get a better?
So he
Yeah,
has
he
a really
does.
good exit.
But I don't think he would have
this
got
is a little bit on the edge. Let's see how the
It's behind the bridge. I don't believe this. They're killing us, aren't they? The bridge just in the way this time.
But let's see how Stewart's going to see this, because basically he didn't leave the space.
You think he shut the door too hard on Czech behind?
If you are even a little bit side by side, but let's see.
Let's see indeed. Let's see indeed. Well, that was all. Considering the amount of action that, Tony, to not have a red flag is absolutely staggering. I don't think we've ever seen so many cars through the gravel.
But also, Mitchell Green, is it 4th win in a row?
Let me
Was
have a
it
look and
double
see.
winner in Watkins?
Yes,
you mentioned
you
yesterday?
are correct. Yep, 4 wins
So
in a row.
he's on a good run. And
Just at the right time.
Yeah, and
Just
the
at
championship
right
is
time.
really decided in the last race. Basically, they're coming in more or less the same points, I think.
Wow.
Not a big difference.
Let's take a look then at the results for Coppa Shell from this one. That was that was as much of a roller coaster as the track is. Mitchell Green with the win from Chuck Whittle and Mike Chen. Gary Ott ends up 4th. So that's showing so Ott managed to hold on to P4. We thought it would be P5, but Roy Carroll dropped back a bit further. Osvaldo Gallo 6th, Brad Evans and Jarrett Vilacek 7th and 8th. And then we have Javier Rodriguez Borgio down in 9th, Naranjo, Luli, Chen, Waltersdorf, Rose and Parker. And you can see those are further back, some of those are the retirements. Yes, job done. Job done. Very happy D. Mitchell Green. He knows what this means. Say he won't, of course, he will be disappointed for his brilliant rival Jan Vernier, as we all are. But that's nothing to do with him. He's got his job done. Those are his kids over there. I met them earlier on in down at the team, Scuderia Corsa. Fantastic, straight over and greets the family. Oh, brilliant. How lovely that they're here to see the double win from Dad at Laguna Seca, the legendary track. Matt Dusenbury over to give him a hug as well. Matt, the head of Ferrari Motorsport here in the USA. I was chatting with Matt earlier on about what a brilliant season it's been and what a great vibe it is here at Laguna Seca, just the atmosphere. Gabe Hribb, yes, Gabe, got it done. Stayed out of trouble, got the win. Championship leader slams the door. He had to shut the door at the end as well, twice on Steve Czech, once into turn 11 and once on the run to the finish. Has a look at the rear quarter of the car. P1, baby. His eyes are wide. You can see the whites of his eyes. Eyes are wide after the action in that one. I agree with Matt there. Really well done. And it was after everything that kicked off in that. There's Webb Collins there from the team as well to congratulate him. Well, let's take a look at the results of AM overall, because obviously it's Gabe who's taken the win. And you'll see that in just a moment. Gabe Hribb with the win from Steve Czech by 0.091. They were touching pretty much as they went over the timeline. Lance Corley P3, Fabian Sperman gets P4, Matt Herfield P5, Henry Hummel P6, Petromolo ends up 7th, gutted after the spin. Luis Peruskia is in 8th place. Look at Gabe's graphic there. Look, he looks very serious there. He's all smiles now, though. Edvard Tugian, Williams, Herfield, Stephanie down in P11, Michael Owens in 12th, Jeffrey Kuehl, Jesus Mendoza and Luis Flory 15th after pulling off to the side of the track. And unfortunately, everybody else in retirement, Lynn, Gomez, Kozira, Chu and Wai Lau as well. Wai Lau in the incident that happened up at the top of the corkscrew earlier on in the race.
Oh, my God. What a race. What a race. What a race. What a race.
Big celebrations down there. Lance Corley and Gabe Hribb.
was amazing, man.
It was amazing, it really was. We're pretty amazed as well. Mitchell Green, 4 wins in a row, 2 wins here at Laguna Seca. It's a commanding lead, I think, in the championship standings. He's with Nina J. Paul.
Mitchell Green, you avoided all the carnage of today. Double win at Laguna Seca. Championship lead extended. Did it all come to plan?
I didn't want Jan to get taken out of the race. I want to beat him fair and square. It sucks what happened to him. He got taken out by whoever was driving in 4th place and just completely T-boned him. And because the guy's ABS was totally out of control. I want to race him. That's more fun. And then at the start, Gary just took off. I didn't really know where he was, so I knew he was getting a penalty. And then Jan and I stayed in column. And then after that, it was just drive. And then I was given very strict orders that I was not passing Gary in the race. So just kept bringing my brake points back, and it was good.
Well, championship lead extended, Mitchell. How do you feel about heading into Mugello?
I'm testing there several days and next week, and I'm pumped to go.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Cheers.
He's so serious about his racing. That's absolutely brilliant. And I know it'll be Jamie Morrow, my friend from the UK. We worked together as instructors back in the UK. I saw Jamie literally 20 minutes before the race. I was like, he goes, are you going to get some lunch? I was like, we haven't got time for lunch, mate. The race is about to start. So he ran off to go, and it will be Jamie that's on the radio saying, you are not passing Gary Ott. You shall not pass. Mitchell Green extends the lead. It was 7 yesterday. It came down to 6 this morning when Jan Bernier took the pole position point, and it's gone way out to 26 points now with Gary Ott in P3. Gabe Hrib, the winner of Coppa Shell AM, is with Nina Jade.
Yes, I am with Gabe Carib, and he's absolutely chuffed. Gabe, we spoke earlier about, biding your time, avoiding carnage, and maybe benefiting from other people's misfortunes. That seems like that's exactly what happened today. Talk us through your emotions.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, my discussion with you was my kids at home watching were saying, gun for #1 position. And I thought that I was in a good position, which I actually was. There was a lot of carnage going on, and I just ended up in a great position and pulled it off. I can't even believe it. I'm so ecstatic. I mean, it's beyond. And being #1 in the points, it just solidifies my position much more, which I love. This is the best time I've ever had in my life.
Championship lead extended, Gabe. Heart in mouth moment on the last lap with you and Steve Check. Talk us through what happened there.
Yeah, I saw Steve gaining up on me, and I just pushed out of there, had a little bit of defense going on, and got past the line. I mean, we did have a little kiss there, but we made it. Absolutely ecstatic. I mean, I just beyond words.
Congratulations. Celebrate tonight.
I absolutely will. Kids, this one's for you guys. We get it. #1.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. Dedicating the win to the kids. And, yeah, fantastic job. Brilliant livery on his car as well, the graffiti livery on there. Let's see. Wow, 28-point lead for Gabe Hrib over Michael Owens. Lewis Flory now 82 points back. Melissa Kozira's within reach of Lewis, so definitely there's a bit of a battle there for P3 in the standings. Nürnberg, Corley, Hummel and Czech are your top 8. But Gabe Hrib with a 28-point lead heading across to Mugello to try and hold on to that Shell Am Drivers' Championship. Right, let's take a look at the corkscrew carnage from the last lap, and we'll see if we can figure out who's doing what in this. So this is up at the top of a hill. Oh, wow. Okay, can't see the number on the side of the car because it's getting launched up into the air at the time. Oh, straight over the Chris.
112.
107?
107 and inside 112.
Okay, 112 is Mike Luley, who goes for a run across the gravel, and 107 is William Naranjo, who he's... and then he spins on the exit, which is not a surprise, really, having gone down. It was a bucking Bronco over the gravel trap, wasn't it? That was a wild ride.
Yeah, it was a little bit too optimistic overtaking maneuver. And we mentioned yesterday, Mitchell Green, how serious he takes his racing. Coming out from the race car, having won 2 starts, 2 races, I'm going testing Italy next week.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
For several days.
Yeah, several days. Several days. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere, though. If the Pirelli race is anything like the Shell one, it's going to be a wild ride. We'll see you in a moment. Stay with us. Laguna Seca is the venue for the final rounds in America of Ferrari Challenge North America. If you were with us a few moments ago, you'll know that race, the Coppa Shell race, would have to be described as action-packed for sure, and I'm pretty certain the Pirelli guys will keep it maybe a bit tidier, but we'd happily see some overtaking and some action in this one as well. Perfect conditions here. It is a beautiful day in California, and this is the final race in America. It really is. So Coppa Shell earlier, now Trofeo Pirelli, and then across the pond, of course, to Italy for the finale Mondiali, and we'll see who's leading those standings when we get away from this one. 31 degrees Celsius is the track temperature, 22 for the air, 72% humidity. The wind has picked up just a little bit, which will maybe add some dust to it as well. Look at that in the background. What a stunning place for a racetrack. My name's Andrew Coley, alongside me, Tony Villander. Tony, we love Laguna Seca.
Yeah, this is a special place. Suits really well Ferrari's race cars, mid-engine cars, well balanced through the fast flow of Laguna Seca. Very demanding track for the drivers. A little bit of single line for the racing, which we saw even yesterday. Not an easy task to overtake.
This is a look at the track layout. We've seen some unfortunate action in turn one last time. Jan Bernier, who was the championship leader coming in, got fired off, unfortunately, and that ended his race. He was super polite about it when he came back to the pits, but it did give Mitchell Green a big lead as he heads across, say, to the other side of the Atlantic. Gabe Hribb leaving here, leading Coppa Shell, and we've got those two Trofeo Pirelli standings to set up. We've seen a lot of action in the corkscrew yesterday and today. Kaminsky made a brilliant pass up in the corkscrew on the brakes. And we've seen a few people try the same and maybe not pull it off in quite the same way in that last one. So let's keep it tidy, people. Nina Jade Paul is down in the pit lane.
What an action-packed race that Coppa Shell was, and I'm sure Pirelli will not disappoint either. So for the final time in North America, drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
Thank you, Nina Jade. Front row today, of course, Johnny Kaminsky, 16 years old, would love to take a win. I talked with him about it on Friday. He turns 17 next week. I'm pretty sure at 17 he'd still be the youngest winner in Ferrari Challenge, but all the same he'd love to take one now. But of course he's got to beat Massimo Perina. Perina just wants to keep his eyes on the prize. That man there got the prize last year, Dylan Medler, the champion from 2024. At the minute, Massimo Perina is a long way in front. But I'll tell you what, if he was watching that last race, Tony, he will be nervous because you can't control what other people are doing.
That is true. Dylan Medler yesterday at the start, he was really aggressive. He wanted to take that race lead. Today he's starting from P3 behind Massimo Perina, who has the race under control if he survives the first lap. He just has more pace than the other drivers. Also, let's see, Johnny Kaminsky today has been performing better than yesterday. So yesterday qualified P4, today starting the outside of the front row. That is interesting to see. Also in Pro-Am, Eric Pan coming back after 6 months and really dominant so far. And he was a bit hard on himself, but let's see how he manages to survive the pressure of the race too.
So stay with us then. This is the final race from the US of A for Ferrari Challenge North America. Let's get it underway. Weekend number 6, race number 12 for Ferrari Challenge North America. This is Pirelli and Trofeo Pirelli, to give it its full flair and Italian name. That is your championship leader up behind the pace car, Massimo Perina. Alongside him, Johnny Kaminsky, 16 years old. Great performance by Kaminsky in qualifying to be there. Dylan Medler and Roberto Perina, row 2. On to row 3, it's Brian Cook and Ethan McWilliams. Row 4, Jason McCarthy and Tony Davis. And then on to row 5, Eric Pan with the pole from Michael Porter alongside Michael Mathes and Brad Favre on row 6. Row 7 is Esteban Beckman and Joe Rubo. Row 8, Ray Acosta and Harry Jung. Row 9, Gerdas Venceslas and Gregory Hopkins. Row 10, Jay Logan and Sebastian Mascaro. Row 11 is Kevin Gutierrez and Matthew Diel. Row 12, Robert McWilliams and Omar Balkasoon. And row 13, Bruce Cleveland and Frank Sesniak. Weaving up towards the top of the hill. More than we saw, obviously, in qualifying this morning, Tony. I guess they're just desperate to get as much heat in as they can before that all-important turn 2.
Yeah, you need to have the tires ready, but also the brakes ready for turn 2. Always a little bit unknown for the drivers where to brake, how to approach the first turn, how aggressive can you be, how late can you brake, and you always need to be ready for everything.
The trouble is you can end up looking in your mirrors, and then if you see somebody coming in hot, you release the pressure to go deep to give them space, and it can be carnage. So you've just got to do your own thing, control the controllables. Kaminsky on the outside will try and find a way past Massimo Perina on the inside. Dylan Medler is desperate to see if he can stem the flow. Roberto Perina, Massimo's uncle, next to Dylan on that second row. Here we go. Trofeo Pirelli about to blast down to the first corner. Perina is squeezing him out to the outside line. Massimo Perina with a great reaction time. Medler already alongside Kaminsky as they run to the first corner. Cook comes through as well. Kaminsky might get mugged here for P3 if he's not careful. He ends up out in 4th place. Could end up 5th here. Massimo Perina runs wide. Dylan Medler up the inside line. Medler takes the lead. Perina takes avoiding action. Cook ends up on the gravel contact. Kaminsky, rear suspension collapse. Johnny Kaminsky is out of this one. The rear right's hanging off the car and he doesn't know yet. So Kaminsky with real problems. And in the background, I think Cook as well. Kaminsky there finally. The rear suspension has let go. And he's going to have to pull off the side of the road. This could be carnage for the Pirelli Am drivers who are about to come through this section behind. Oh, what a shame for Kaminsky. That's more damage, I think, than the team will be able to repair. Didn't react when Massimo went, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, he started P2 but lost several places. He was P4, and now we have cars that had contacts in Pirelli, and like you said, the Pirelli Am is going through.
Yeah, Eric Pan, the
Dylan Medler really aggressive at the start like yesterday, and this time he was able to take the lead. They had even a contact with Massimo.
I wonder if Massimo would rightly be feeling a bit nervous before the start, didn't want any contact. Now he's in a really tricky situation. He'll want to beat Medler, of course he will, but is there any point? Having said that, of course, Medler's one of his main rivals. He looks to the inside line, flashes the lights. Okay, we could be in for a bit of a scrap here.
Yeah, this could be a hard battle. The way Dylan overtook Massimo was surprising. It was in between, in the middle of the corner.
Two apexes.
Yes. So I was surprised to see that.
Yeah, me also.
Because normally the entry, when Massimo had it, just stay tight, and there would have been no space for Dylan.
Let's take a look at the Am start here. This is on the run to it's turn 11. Nice one. So Eric Pan in the 88 on the inside line here. Everybody backed up towards the start line, and then there's quite some big gaps at the back of the field. Somebody didn't get that right at all, did they? Eric Pan just got away. Looked nicely done. There was a pass in the background for P2 in the standings. A little bit of contact. Acosta looks like he might have had a bit of a rub there as well. Wow, all kicking off. Okay, so Medler leads from Perina. Go on, what have you seen, Tony?
Yeah, there's a little damage on the
rear right corner.
Yes. That's when Dylan cut the line in front of Massimo and they touched just slightly.
So what do you, okay, let's get into this. What do you do if you're Massimo Perina?
The thing is now, Massimo following Dylan so closely, he will overheat the tires and he actually goes to the rhythm of the leader. So the difficulty of overtaking, now we see Massimo, if he has 2, 3, 4 tenths more pace, but it will be difficult to overtake, and this will be a hard fight for next 27 minutes.
Do you think he should push Medler? I think he shouldn't, see if he can cook his tyres. He wants him to be pushing along. You say he doesn't want to cook his own tyres while sitting in his slipstream, though.
Yeah, but Dylan, as a race leader, just needs to go his own pace. And if there is to defend as the rules allow you to defend. For Massimo, it's more difficult because following so closely, water temperature in the engine, overheating the tires, and if you cook the tires too much, then you lose the performance, and suddenly Dylan's position is better and he has more performance.
That is Esteban Beckman off the road. So Esteban Beckman, unfortunately, is going to go no further. Get it off further than that, please, if you can, Esteban. He's waiting for the leaders to come through, and he does turn it off to the left-hand side. I hope they won't yellow flag for that. They might well do. So Medler and Massimo Perina are actually making a little gap on Roberto Perina.
Yeah, and also, Johnny Kominski's touch between 2 and 3 was unfortunate, but he had a poor acceleration from P2, always outside, losing places, and then he just touched with Brian Cook. I think Brian touched somebody else, and then Johnny was there just in the wrong place.
Do you think Johnny didn't react when Massimo did? Because Massimo held them for a long time, which he has every right to do as the race leader.
Yeah, he had a poor reaction, poor acceleration, and he was already down to P4 going into turn 2. So
and then
that
you're on
wasn't
the
a good
outside,
one.
aren't you? That's the trouble, is when you're out. Now, as I said on the way in, he may lose P3 here. Once you're outside, it's very hard to get back to the inside line. Pirelli being very patient on the throttle here, isn't he? Medler pushing out the front as well. So Medler can keep the door shut. You can see bits of car in the middle of the track. Medler can keep the door shut here quite effectively. I think turn 1 is one of the only places you can make a pass. Medler with the fastest lap of the race. And last year's champion. Okay, Massimo Pirelli has dominated this year, but Medler knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, and the thing is, these two drivers, they had a moment this year. They had a contact in Miami.
They
so,
did.
Like you mentioned, Perina dominating the championship, winning a lot of races, qualifying sessions in a row. But Dylan wants to bring the glory of this race home, and he's not going to give the lead easily.
No, I don't think he is either. So if Massimo Pirelli wants this, he's going to have to really take it. And I think the thing here is keep the pressure on. They're both going to end up then with the Pirellis well used by the latter stage of the race, and that's maybe when you can force somebody into an error when the grip starts to go. Full course yellow. That may well be Beckman's car that's parked on the inside of, I think it's turn 5 or 6 he's parked on the inside of. Oh, man. Fair enough. Got to get it out of the way. We saw some quick offs here yesterday. Oh, and then he drives it out. Okay. There we go. So that's another lap behind the full course yellow as we get the car out the gravel trap anyway. Maybe he was waiting for it to be safe. I don't know. But either way, that's a bit of a shame because he's a couple of laps down and now we have to go full course yellow, which, yeah. Okay. So Massimo Pirelli would, you can see top left, has lost a place, up 3 places for Tony Davis. Kaminsky loses 5. I think Kaminsky's out, isn't he? Yes, he is. Brian Cook also. I didn't see actually whether Kaminsky managed to hobble round or not, or did he maybe have to park it out on track as well?
Yeah, at least he was going until turn 4, but then the damage obviously was a lot, and I don't know either if he re-entered pits, but for sure there was a lot of damage.
Gutting for Eric Pan. Look, he had a good lead from the looks of things over Mathes and Porter behind. But that's the way it goes. Eric Pan with the fastest lap, Medler with the fastest lap. So both those drivers out front.
But you often think about the races beforehand. What is the strategy? What are you going to do at the start? Dylan had a plan yesterday and he couldn't take the lead. Today he was even more determined to take the lead of the race. And we discussed with you, if this race would have gone to a normal rhythm, it would have been Massimo Pirelli pulling away.
Yes.
But now it's another story. Now the fight is on.
It's interesting for us, isn't it? It'd be great for us to see because, say, when they had battles earlier on this year, it was good fun between them.
Let's see if the safety car switches off the light already this lap. Maybe the lights were off.
Bit of news from race control, disappointing I think, but understandable. Gabe Prieb has been DQ'd, it seems, from the Coppa Shell race, so that what they're saying is unacceptable risk. We don't have any further details, and obviously the stewards will unjustifiable risk, sorry, is what the stewards have said, and that will, okay, so they'll release a document later with all the details. We don't have that now for you, but Gabe Prieb, I think he'll still lead the championship even with the DQ because he had a good lead, but it's going to make it a lot tighter.
Yeah, I feel that nowadays maybe we are into the restart.
We are. Dylan Medler coming into turn 11. Pirelli right behind, so it was just 3/4 of a lap, wasn't it, behind the safety car? The green flag flies, safety car is in pit lane. And over the start line comes Medler. Pirelli maybe not close enough to make the most of it this time round. And doesn't even have a look. There's no point in looking and losing the time. Look how hot he is into turn 2. Pirina's able to close the gap there, almost contact between them. So Pirina's got great front tyres, definitely got good rotation in the car. Medler, though, maybe a bit cautious too, and still, you've still got to find a way through. This time, the pressure is really hard.
Yeah, still fair fight. Massimo didn't touch Dylan's car at all. Very close. He had a good rotation, like you mentioned, going through turn 2. And after a safety car, this is like the actual race start. The opening lap always gives more opportunities to overtake.
Pirelli looks to me to have really good turn-in. we'll monitor it compared to Medler. Just a little bit less track maybe, but it can be driving style too. This is the run-up. Look, we use the curb on one side, then the other. You can see why the drivers say you hope you're on the right line. You need a lot of experience here to get to it. Tumbling down the ultra steep corkscrew at WeatherTech Raceway.
And for Dylan's driving, the only thing is he cannot commit a mistake now. He cannot open the door, go off, drop a wheel, go as fast as you can, but you need to stay on track and just perform like in qualifying.
So we know Perina was really good in that first corner up at turn 2. Is he going to be close enough to have a go this time? I mean, he'll be relying, I think, on Medler going deep. Let's see, Medler over the crest through the flat left, now on the brakes and rotating the car in an ever-tightening corner. And again, Perina looks to the inside line, but again, there isn't quite enough room. But Medler will know he's closing down on him there. He wants Medler to drive on the mirrors and maybe just run it 6 feet too deep, as Perina did on lap 1, allowing Medler the space.
Yeah, it's a tight battle between these two. Dylan's driving style is quite aggressive, so even leading the race, he's throwing the car from left to right, riding the curbs, and there's more movement, more chassis movement on Dylan's car than on Massimo Perina's.
You can hear it in turn, it might have been 5 actually, but you can hear sometimes the front tyres protesting as he turns in. No, it's here, it's 6, just before the railhouse straight. On a couple of corners I've heard, you can hear the push. You can hear the Pirellis squealing for mercy. No mercy, I'm afraid, for the Pirelli, especially made for the Ferrari Challenge, and very grateful for their vast technical knowledge, of course. Didn't they reach something like, what was it in F1 the other day? Pirelli it was some crazy anniversary, wasn't it, of how many races they'd done?
I think it was 500.
I think it was too. Yeah, they did special trophies, didn't they? Different stuff on the tyres. Very cool.
Massimo Perina hitting the inside curb. Last turn, car jumping up in the air a little bit, bouncing at the exit, going to the main straight.
They have checked out, haven't they, with Roberto Perina and Ethan McWilliams. A little bit of a gap now for Perina. 5/10 back from Medler. Good job by Dylan. I saw Dylan at lunchtime. He was smiling and looked relaxed, but we know there's a big rivalry here as well. He really will want to beat Massimo, and I get it. That's what you want. Yeah, he's last year's champion and Massimo's champion-elect. He wants to show he's still got it. And earlier on this year, you won the 2 races at Daytona. I say Medler's a class act. I thought he was unlucky actually in Miami with the contact between them. You know, Medler retired, Perina did, and that's the way it goes sometimes. Or out wide again.
Yeah, I think he had bad weekend overall in Miami, like 2 contacts. The other one was into the hairpin, other one turn 1 with Massimo. So
yes, it was. You're right. So yeah, you can. It's a little bit like Jan Bernier here. You can understand being a bit miffed about the way things went.
Was it actually Johnny Kaminsky?
It was Kaminsky. Yeah, Kaminsky. Yes. I think Kaminsky, if I remember correctly, the wall he couldn't go anywhere because the wall on the outside. He tried very hard to avoid Medler, but had nowhere to go, and that's the problem at Miami, isn't it? Great circuit though it is a proper street circuit. There's no runoff, so if you misjudge the braking zone, you are going to skittle the car in front. So unfortunately, it was Kaminsky got skittled himself in this one. We got a car off again, so that's in the gravel. It is Joe Rubo, and he gets it out. That's one of the nice things here about Laguna Seca is the gravel isn't too deep in most places, so the cars are able to drive off. But Rubo will drop down the order as a result of that. He was in P5 in Pirelli Am. Where was it, Tony?
Yeah, he spun turn 9, so coming down from the corkscrew and then the fast right-hander.
So Dylan Medler and Massimo Perina with a little gap over Roberto Perina, and then Ethan McWilliams just a little way back from there. And then it's a big gap back. It's some 6 seconds, I think, is the gap further to the rest of the field.
I think the corner is actually to the left where he spun. I said right, but he's
I know the one you meant. Yeah. Rainy curve after the corkscrew.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Here is the rest of the field. So yeah, that's Eric Pandler with Michael Mathes, and they're right behind. It is Tony Davis and Jason McCarthy. So the leaders of Pirelli Am are on the back of the tail enders for Pirelli, and that's this is the tricky situation we saw in the previous encounter. You're the leader of Pirelli Am. You don't need, if he passes them, there are no more points on offer. The maximum points for P1 in Pirelli Am doesn't matter where he finishes with the other Pirelli drivers, but he doesn't want the pressure from Mathes behind. So he might have to find something here to try and get through. Having said that, the minute Mathes isn't on him, but it might not be long before he is.
Yeah, you always race the drivers in your class, but as the format is that Pirelli and Pirelli Am are in a combined race start together, in this occasion for Eric Pan would be really convenient to put Tony Davis in between his main rivals. Tony Davis has an issue.
Runs deep.
It goes almost wide.
Has he left it? No, not quite. So now this is even worse for Pan. So I was about to say, Davis, of course, is in that fight with McCarthy and won't care what's going on behind him. He just wants to get McCarthy and get some extra points in the Pirelli class. So there's so much going on. So Eric Pan, can he find a way past Davis? Remember, Kaminsky and Cook are out of this one. And in the meantime, if he's in that an even trickier situation of trying to find a way past Davis, but also watching his mirrors for Mathes, who is right with him. Michael Mathes in the silver car looking to the inside line. Mathes with a good run here on the run up the hill. Not close enough though. Look at the difference through there. So Eric Pan has got better pace, hasn't he, through turn 6. Just carries more speed onto that back straight, the Rahal straight.
Yeah, a lot more confidence, using the track all the way up the hill. But the fight is close. It was yesterday as well. So Eric Pan winning the race and having 2 pole positions. Still, the fight in class is very intense.
Oh, Perina is right on Medler. Now comes out wide. Medler with a defensive line. This could be it for Perina. Medler went defensive on the way, and Perina with a better exit speed. Medler goes inside line. Perina's going to have to go the long way round. Medler comes out now. Perina might look back to make the cutback if he can. Late on the brakes. Will Medler get it to the apex? He does. Great defensive drive by Medler through there, because Perina had a much better exit.
Yeah, and this is the moment of the race where you start to feel the tire wear. So how is your car using the tires? How much pace you have? So clearly Massimo has few tenths more speed than Dylan, and this has also, the fight has also allowed Roberto Perina to close by.
Just what I was going to say, Tony, because I was looking at the same thing as you, and suddenly Roberto Perina is on the back of them, meaning that their pace has slowed somewhat. Either that or Roberto Perina's pace has gone up, but I think it's more likely that their pace has slowed a little last time round. Yeah, Medler maybe made a mistake. He did a 125.6 last time. Both the Perinas did 125.2. Ethan McWilliams with the 125.6 as well. Medler now over the green strip on the run into the corkscrew. Now the Perina's looking to try and find a way through. This was where he was so close last time round. The reverse liveries on Massimo and Roberto's car. Massimo with the lights ablaze, proper endurance style, you know, let me through. What you got, Tony?
So yesterday Dylan finished the race P3, but he lost 13 seconds to the leader.
Yes.
So this has, what we're seeing on TV and what we're seeing on this race now is he needs to defend. He's struggling more than the 2 drivers behind him, but he doesn't want to give up that leading position. So this will be a tough fight.
Yeah, with the aggressive style, he would maybe have cooked the Pirellis a little earlier. He now could really do. We had Perina now is so close. He could do with Perina cooking his tyres, sitting in his slipstream. So it can work out, but he's going to have to defend potentially for another 13 minutes. Still, Perina piles the pressure onto Medler as they head up the hill towards the corkscrew again. The pressure is immense, isn't it, when a car's that close and you can see them in your mirrors. The screen that he's got in the centre of the car will just be absolutely full of Massimo Perina.
Yeah, and this is not easy. Even Dylan is leading the race. He has to be on it full time. He had to cover the inside line a little bit going to 8, so the corkscrew. And now he's starting to be a little bit more loose. The car is sliding a bit more, and he has to go defensive.
What a brilliant shot from our drone, by the way. Lovely work there from the guys. Just picking out an amazing shot over the top. Love that.
Let's see if Massimo has the patience.
I think he does. He has a big championship lead. Yeah, there wouldn't be a lot of point in retiring here. That's the collection from Miami. That is Dylan Medler's team, the reigning champions.
And we also have Alessandro Balzan, who is Dylan Medler's coach.
With the headphones on in the centre of your shot.
Yes.
There's a conversation going on there, isn't there? That's a group of people who look pretty nervous. You can also see on the front left corner of Massimo Perina's car, you can see the marks from the Pirelli tyre of Medler in turn 1. Just clocked that in the first corner where they're going that little bit slower. Last laps look 125.6, 125.4, 125.4. They've got to find a way through, and the thing is, Medler's going quick enough that isn't easy. Oh, no way. The fog is rolling in on the circuit. That could be a bit tricky in terms of visibility. Is he having a look this time? Perina out wide. Medler again goes defensive. So far, though, no dice, no way through. If we get the dampness on track as well, Tony, will that make we're up right at the top of the hill in the announcing booth, and it is foggy up here. This is a proper sea mist has come in. Perina looks to the inside line. You can't really see it on your pictures yet. Maybe it's just at the very top. You might see the sea mist when you get up to the corkscrew. In the background, you can now. 10 minutes remaining on this one. Hopefully, the mist won't come in too quickly. Medler from Perina and Perina. I wonder if Massimo's not going to have a crack at it. You know, the sensible championship thing to do is not to, but the racing driver thing and when you've got a bit of a needle match between two drivers, you want to stick it past him, don't you? But Medler will be absolutely desperate as well not to let him. He's the reigning champion.
Yeah, I've gone into a race car many times with a clear plan, but then when you put the helmet on, suddenly,
it gets a bit different.
Suddenly you forget the plan, and it's just...
the horns come out.
Exactly.
Yeah, the horns come out and you get going for it. Eric Pan that leads from Michael Mathes in the background here. They are still behind Tony Davis in the blue and yellow car, the P6 car in Trofeo Pirelli. And you can see Michael Porter is just a couple of cars back with the green stripe up the front, and now the fog is really low into the corkscrew, so losing a bit of visibility up there. Where's Perina? Where's Perina? Massimo Perina's gone. Massimo Perina has gone. Dylan Medler is leading this race, and Massimo Perina has disappeared. Roberto Perina is in P2. Massimo is gone. I've just noticed as well the mirror is off Medler's car. Was that from an attempt? And he's there. Perina is there. So he comes back out. How far down is he? Where is he? P4? Massimo Perina coming over the line behind...
in front of Tony Davis.
Yes, just in front of Tony Davis. So Perina drops from P2 to P5. Is his mirror missing as well? No.
We talked about patience.
Yeah, but so did he have a crack at the lead? Surely if Medler's mirror was missing, we'd expect to see the same from Perina unless something else happened up there. Maybe Perina just made a mistake. So Massimo Perina now in behind Jason McCarthy and will be desperate to find a way through and just salvage a few more points. This is where we find out where the patience is, Tony. He's got to chill, hasn't he?
Yeah, would be interesting to see the replay of what happened on the last lap for Massimo Perina. He was in P2 following the leader very closely, and suddenly he came across the line in P5 and lost a lot of ground.
I wonder if it was up in the fog where we were on the drone and we just can't see up there. Up over the curbs. And the fog, I mean, it looks like the fog's lifted again. It's sunshine up at the top. It's just crazy, isn't it? But that's coastal racing circuits for you. Coming down the hill then, Perina trying to find a way past McCarthy. What were McCarthy's lap times like? Fastest for him is a, 1:25.7. So the fastest lap of Perina is a full 1.3 seconds quicker, but you're still going to find a way through. Medler, withstanding a huge amount of pressure out front, we'll say we still didn't see what happened. And I would love to. We'll see if we can find it. We'll see if we got it. So Medler's lead over Roberto Perina is 1.3. What were their lap times like, Tony, last time? Perina was 1/10 of a second quicker on the last lap. Surprises all day long here. Often day 2 is a bit different to day 1, but I maybe wasn't expecting to be quite this different. Eric Pan still leads.
And the fight for the Pirelli Am is getting more heated as well. Tony Davis is not able to pull away from Eric Pan, and then Eric Pan is frustrated because he has a lot of pressure from behind.
Yeah, Davis just dropped a wheel on the outside as well. Now the pressure is being increased by Mathes massively. Mathes looking to the inside line on the run up towards the the left-hander at turn 6 onto Rahal Straight. A couple of kinks on the run up here over the crest towards the corkscrew. There's Davis, Pan, Mathes behind, and again Pan just manages to edge out a little bit of a gap in turn 6 and just releases the pressure a bit.
Yeah, he's carrying more speed through the corner, and his racing line, he has more courage. He's more willing to take the exit curb. while Matthes is just staying away that turn 6 exit curb.
And then Matthes comes back, look, through the rest of the lap. This is that classic story, isn't it, of a driver having better pace in a couple of corners than somebody else does. 5-6 minutes remaining, so further 7 or so laps, I guess, maybe. No, not even that many. 4 or 5 laps remaining. Medler's gap remains at 1.3 out front. You're looking at the battle for the lead here of Trofeo Pirelli Am. The car number 4 is the P6 car from Trofeo Pirelli. And for Tony Davis. Tony, how far back is Tony? 3.3 off the cars in front, but he's also looking at Perina. He knows Massimo Perina and McCarthy could come together, so he doesn't want to hang back, does he? Just let the Pirelli Am guys go. And if he does, he's going to be letting a trainer car through, because look, they're all there behind him. Behind Matthes, it's Porter with the green stripe, Falvera with the red car. Behind Falvera is Acosta in the red and orange. There is Acosta.
Yeah, Ray Acosta was fighting for podium yesterday, but had a difficult qualifying session today, and doesn't seem to have the same pace as yesterday.
Agreed. So everybody now on pretty well used tyres. So we'll have to see how they manage it on the run to the end of this race. He just can't find a way through, can he? But again, there's a bit of me that, depending on if he's already taken a risk and had a problem, we don't know. We're literally speculating, we don't know. The team doesn't know either, we're hearing. So in between cameras on the backstretch is what we're hearing is he dropped back, and we don't know why. So he dropped back. Interesting. So he's had some sort of an issue. So for me at this point, Tony, I would be thinking, get it to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what kind of issue. If it's something related to the car, electric, engine related, tires. But he lost a lot of ground in less than a half a lap.
Yeah, and so if it was on a straight as well, then you have to think, yeah, maybe not.
But then if everything is back to normal, then you are back into the racing mode. Eric Pan, his car is moving a bit more now, coming out of turn 5. Here we see a big difference. He's taking the exit curb way more than Matthes behind him. Maybe Matthes is building up his confidence a bit more. Maybe he's getting advised, be more brave going through turn 6. Don't lose so much ground there, and keep on putting the pressure on Eric Pan.
Yeah, Michael Matthes is in his T car as well. That's what the T is on the side of the car next to the number 5. He's in his spare car, which is why it's not his normal livery, if you're wondering. I think that's the third driver we've seen today in T cars. Pan with the lead, Matthes with the fastest lap. And this is back to Massimo Perina, the championship leader. Stuck behind Jason McCarthy.
Yeah, this is the typical situation where Massimo would have much more pace, but it's just so difficult to overtake, and when you are so close to another car, then you are forced to his rhythm. And now
goes out wide. Sorry, Tony, to interrupt. Defensive drive there, wasn't it, from Davis? And Perina now looks to the inside line. Got to be brave here and hope Tony Davis doesn't turn in across him, and he does. Yeah, we don't want to be. It's championship lead. Sorry, McCarthy, my bad. Sorry, McCarthy. Championship lead at stake here. You've got to minimise the risks. You really have. Davis is stuck between Perina and Pan. Pan still under pressure from Matthes in the background. 2 minutes remaining. They at least have managed to break away from Porter behind them, so there is quite the pressure there. Fairly well stretched out now, isn't it? Perina all over the back here of McCarthy, but cannot find a way through. He's closer again this time. McCarthy was definitely defensive on the run into turn 3, but it wasn't enough to find a way through. Where, Tony? Turn 2?
Yeah, it's difficult. You need to get a better run in the exit of the corner. Like, for example, here, if McCarthy makes a little mistake and Massive has a good exit, then you can challenge him to turn 2. But it's not easy because...
And he is pushing. You can see the car sideways. The fog is really rolling in down the background. You can see the car sideways coming out of turn 11. I think we're going to get lucky here with the weather. The fog is completely around the announcing booth up on the top of the hill behind the circuit. Hopefully it'll hold off for just another minute 20, because we don't want visibility issues. Here are your AM leaders still, Pan and Matthes. Is Matthes lining something up here? Has he got a surprise for the last lap that he doesn't want to give away by making the move too early? And still Perina tries to find a way past McCarthy, and still he can't. Here is Medler.
And Roberto has catched him.
He has. The gap's down to 0.5. I saw it had gone down from 1.3 to 1.2. But Roberto Perina is right there, and Medler's car is really twitchy on the exit. Medler is fighting here for grip. The fog's coming in. The grip will be down. He runs the car over the gravel on the outside line. So Medler, who will surely, is this going to be white flag lap this time? It will be. White flag will be out this time. Watch for the gantry at the start-finish line, and we've got one last attempt here for Perina to have a crack at him. Roberto Perina in the slipstream of Medler on the run to the first corner. Over the crest now, goes out wide.
He almost lost it.
He nearly dropped it, didn't he, Tony? Nearly dropped it on the way in. Medler runs a bit deep, but not deep enough to let him through. That went light, didn't it?
Almost lost
no! Cars off everywhere. Davis off. Wheel off. That's the
Davis.
AM leaders as well, we think. Davis is off. You can hear screaming in the background as well. So Davis has gone off in the front left corner. He's off that car. We're on the final lap. It's going to be a double wave yellow, surely, down at the final corner. So there won't be any passing at turn 11, but I'm pretty sure we'll see this one go to the flag. Perina still trying to find a way through in the background. So that's Porter leading. So Pan has gone. Matthes has gone. Medler still under pressure from Roberto Perina as they come up towards some of the tail-end drivers now. Just a few corners to go. And just like in the Coppa Shell race, it's all gone off at the very end of the race. Medler's got to defend for just a few more corners. The mist rolls in here. Drama at the end of Ferrari Challenge North America's American legs. Perina over the crest. It is full fog at the top. Coming down now for the checkered flag through the final few corners. Dylan Medler hasn't taken a win since early on in the season. Pretty sure it was the double win that he got in Daytona. It was. But Medler this time, he's going to get it done. He survived the pressure early on in the race. He survives the pressure at the end. Last year's champion Medler showing he's still got the class to take race wins. Going to come across Venceslas at the end, flashing the lights. Medler finally takes a win in Ferrari Challenge again. Over the line with Perina right behind. The collection of Miami are over the moon with that. Carnage in the last couple of corners. Porter and Favre coming through. There's a slow car in front of them. Porter coming around now down to the outside curbs. And he's going to come through the left-hander. He was in P3 coming into this lap, and then everybody went off. Carnage in the final corner, and Porter comes through to take it. There's a mirror missing from his car as well. Over the line, Porter for the win with Favre right behind him. Ray Acosta gets P3.
Wow, a lot of action. So there was Tony Davis in front of the Pirelli AM leaders, and suddenly all three of them went off in the last turn before the last lap. So
do you think Pan maybe had to look up the inside? I mean,
or maybe Matthes had a run on Pan, and then they collected Tony Davis. Not sure. And also Roberto Perina on the last lap going into turn 2, he almost lost it under braking. He just wanted to overtake.
We've got a replay of it. We've got a replay,
and that was a close call.
This is the AM crash. Sorry, Tony. We've got a replay coming in now of the AM crash that gave Michael Porter the lead. Here it is in the background.
Goes inside.
Oh, who gets the wheel off? Oi, oi, oi. Wow. Poor Davis. There was nothing. He wouldn't even have seen that coming. That's a couple of missiles from a long way back. I get it. You want to make the move, but unfortunately that's been pretty costly for all three drivers there. But I do get it. You're going for the lead. You're trying for this. There's one of only 2, 3 maybe overtaking opportunities on the track. Turn 2, the corkscrew, if you're really brave.
Yeah, we would need to see still from another angle where Matthes was compared to Eric Pan, and then they were both carrying just way too much speed. But especially Matthes having that inside line, you have a 90-degree corner, and you cannot still be in second, third gear or still on the throttle. The speed he had was just too much.
Crazy.
He would never made the corner.
No, I understand. Yeah, and of course that's how the stewards would judge it as well. Would you have made the corner without the contact, etc.
A lot of action today.
There was a lot of action today. Yeah, we can see it from a bit further back actually, Tony. I know you're going to disappear off our podiums in a minute, but hold tight just for a moment. So this is. God, I tell you what, it wasn't that far, was it? Off the back of Perina. Look at this.
There's first contact between Pan and Matthes, and then.
It's like he comes off the brake.
Yeah, he
comes off the brake and
keeps the same speed, or he doesn't de-accelerate.
Look
Look how much damage.
Whole corner.
And the hit for the front left, maybe even, let's see, Tony Davis, because when you have the hit on that angle, the
hard work,
how your feet are inside the car, and also the hands on the steering wheel.
Look at Medler's eyes. That was wild. His eyes are absolutely lit up. He's finally back on the top step of the podium. Last year's champion. Looks like he's going to climb on the roof any minute of his 296 Challenge car. Eyes are absolutely wild. Look, he's wired with adrenaline. There's his girlfriend, gives him a hug. Great stuff. I can understand that. Coats are on down there as well. It'd be getting chilly now. The mist is coming in. There's the collection from Miami to greet him and his family as well.
A lot of effort goes behind each effort, each victory. So this shows the hard work always pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the belief, it's a bit of a monkey off his back because he hasn't been able to do it for a while. And so have Perina behind him with the pressure on. And the tyres, it looked like the car was getting to be quite hard work. Here's Porter, P1 after that. Tony Verlander is heading down to the podium. Tony, it's been a pleasure working with you this season. Thank you so much, mate.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So Tony Verlander heading down for the podium celebrations. I'm going to take a minute to say goodbye to him. Hold tight, people. Dylan Medler takes the win in Trofeo Pirelli Race 2 from Roberto Perina and Ethan McWilliams. Then it's McCarthy, Massimo Perina after the problem. We still don't know what happened. Maybe we can find out, but I doubt it before the end of the show. Tony Davis, Johnny Kaminsky and Brian Cook. Kaminsky and Cook, of course, retiring earlier. Davis towards the end of the race when he got collected. The mist is coming in, but it held off just long enough for us to get an epic one out of the way. Medler has taken his first win since Daytona earlier on this year. It was a great win under enormous pressure. He's with Nina Jade Paul.
A great win under enormous pressure indeed, Andrew. First win since Daytona. Dylan, talk us through your emotions.
Oh, I'm beyond excited. For me, for the team, we had a string of bad luck, but ending the season in America with the win is amazing. The car was basically falling apart on me towards the end, so it's hard to keep it on track, but it was great competition. We're very happy for the win.
Why was the car falling apart? Was it the tyres?
I hope it was the tires, yeah, or else something wrong with the car. But yeah, the tires had understeer, oversteer everywhere. I felt like I was on a wet track. I mean, it was crazy, but
every time you drove past, I was standing with your team would cheer you on. Did you see them cheering you on? It's such a team effort. What does this do for your momentum heading into Mugello?
Oh, it just builds all the momentum for the team. I mean, we have the best family. The collection, Project 4, is the best team, Ferrari Challenge, best team ever. I couldn't have started without them, and look, we've done pretty good.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Big smiles from Dylan Medler. Fantastic to see such a smile on his face after he said he has had some bad luck. We did discuss it earlier. Things could have ended very differently in Miami, and yeah, just things haven't gone his way. But they have gone his way this time. So Dylan Medler closes the gap down just by a few points on Massimo Perina. It's advantage Perina, but Medler will now have some momentum, and that's so important in this game. Roberto Perina remains in P3. Tony Davis, Johnny Kaminsky, Ethan McWilliams and Jason McCarthy moving up ahead of Gray Falvera. The cars are down in Parc Ferme. The racing is done in the USA for 2025. Michael Porter, the winner in Trofeo Pirelli, and from Brad Falvera and Ray Acosta. Then it's Harry Chung, Kevin Gutierrez, Sebastian Mascaro, Robert Williams and Omar Balkasun, the top 8. And then Matthew Diel, Hopkins, Logan, Rubo, Sesniak, and then Venceslas and Pan. You can see retirements late in the race. Actually, I think Venceslas was yes, he was lapped at the very end. Mathes, Beckman and Cleveland, a non-starter. Michael Porter's with Nina Jade Paul.
Yes, I am with the race winner, Michael Porter. Michael, we were just talking. He said his back tyres were falling apart. It was hard to keep it on the road, but you did it and you went and won it. Talk us through your emotions.
Oh, it's amazing. I have my family here and friends today, and it's just could not be better. It's very emotional. I'm so happy they're all here.
It's great for you and your team. Talk us through how you're going to celebrate tonight, Michael.
I'm not sure. We got to get on a plane here real soon, but I'm sure there'll be some drinks on the airplane.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
I think that's an emotional win there. Fantastic stuff. Let's take a look at the points in Pirelli Am as the mist continues to roll in. Brad Falvera, the gap is 40 points to Sebastian Mascaro. Ray Acosta moves up into P3. Jay Logan is 4th. Ophir Levy 5th. Gerdas Venceslas 6th. David Musial and Robert McWilliams 7th and 8th. Porter Diel, Magnuszewski, etc. What a fantastic season it's been. Right, that is it for us in terms of announcing for Ferrari Challenge North America 2025. A big thank you from myself, for Tony Villander, and Nina Jade Paul as well. Fantastic working with them this season. It really has been. And brilliant. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been my first season here at Ferrari Challenge. It's a wonderful atmosphere in the paddock here. Ferrari North America know how to put on a great event and a great series. All smiles from the drivers. And while there was a fair bit of carnage in these last couple of races, it's been great fun covering it all for you. So stick around if you want to see the podiums. Otherwise, you'll be able to join Dave Richardson and co, who will bring you all the action from Finale Mondiali in October. Big thanks to the TV team, the organising team, all the hospitality. Stay with us at the podiums. Otherwise, we'll see you next year if you're not watching Finale Mondiali, which you should be. Take care. See you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for the 6th round of Ferrari Challenge North America from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Delighted to have you all here with us today, and we're ready to get started and bring out the first podium of the day. We'll begin with the presentation for the winners of the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli class. So please welcome, in 3rd place, Ethan McWilliams. In 2nd place, we have Roberto Perina. And your winner today, Dylan Medler. Medler back on the top step for the first time since Daytona. Great to see a big smile on his face. Let's take your caps off, please, for the winner's national anthem. Now I'd like to introduce the marketing director from FIA, Erin Jesus, to present the trophies to our winners. Also like to invite Lucio Vigiani, Pirelli Motorsport Manager, from our partners at Pirelli to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Dylan Medler. Please also welcome a representative from the collection to accept the Trofeo Pirelli Team Award, once again presented by Erin Jesus, Marketing Director, FIA. Congratulations to everybody. Get those trophies held up high for the photos. Here we go then. One more job to do on the podium for the final time in America for Trofeo Pirelli. It is time for the champagne! Next up, let's invite to the podium for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli AM class. In 3rd place, Ray Acosta. In 2nd place, we have Brad Balvra. And your winner today, Michael Porter. Michael, over the moon with that result, and rightly so. Please, ladies and gentlemen, remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, I'd like to give an extra warm welcome to my good friend, Ferrari ambassador and your co-announcer all year, Tony Verlander. We'd also like to invite Lucio Vajani, Pirelli Motorsport Manager from our partners at Pirelli, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Michael Porter. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Seattle to accept the Trofeo Pirelli AM Team Award, once again presented by Tony Verlander, Ferrari Ambassador. Congratulations to you all. Please show your trophies for the photos. And then trophies down. It is time for the champagne. Oh, in style from Michael Porter. Next up, we're going to invite the podium for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Coppa Shell. So give a warm welcome in third place to Mike Chen. In second place, it's Chuck Whittle. And your winner today, Mitchell Green. Won twice here at Laguna Seca, twice last time out at Watkins Glen. Mitchell Green, the leader of the championship now. A Gentleman's Cup winner as well, please, Gary Ott. And now please remove your caps for the winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, please welcome April Henderson, Event Vice President, WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Big thank you to our hosts here at Laguna Seca. We've had a fantastic weekend of racing. Please now welcome a representative from Ferrari of Westlake to accept the Coppa Shell Team Award, once again presented by April Henderson, Event Vice President, WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Congratulations, everybody. Please get those trophies held up high for the photos. And then trophies down. One last time. Time for the champagne. And finally, the presentation for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Coppa Shell AM winners. In third place, give it up for Fabian Sperman. In second place, Lance Corley. And your winner today, P1, goes to Steve Check. Let's please also welcome our Ladies' Cup winner, Stephanie Herfield. And already on the stage, I'd love to see a big cheer, please, for the Gentleman's Cup winner and your 2025 Gentleman's Cup Championship winner, Lance Corley. Congratulations, Lance. Please remove your hats, ladies and gentlemen, for the winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, please welcome Abe Velasco from Ferrari Financial Services. Fabian Sperman, here we go as well. Lance Corley. Extra trophies for Lance coming in a moment, I'm sure. Stephanie Herfield, the Ladies' Cup. Congratulations, Stephanie. He's waiting, he's calling them on, he wants the trophy. There he is, your champion of the Gentleman's Cup 2025, Lance Corley, one more time. 2 trophies for Lance, great stuff. Lastly, please welcome a representative from Ferrari Rancho Mirage to accept the Coppa Shell Team AM Award, once again presented by Abe Velasco, Ferrari Financial Services. Congratulations to everybody. Hold those trophies up for us. One last time, it's the last photo opportunity on the USA. We're going to look forward to heading across to Italy for the finale mondiale. And one last time, please, trophies down. It is time for the champagne! Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us here at Laguna Seca, and for those of you watching online as well. Don't forget to stay tuned for that finale mondiale in October from Mugello. Thanks so much for being with us this season. It's been an absolute blast. Take care. We'll see you soon.